No kings, no kings, oh, no kings.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about the gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil, chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
You're watching the MC Too Tall Show. I'm your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host that has never gross, MC Too Tall. We're out on location, 2023 Stillwell Avenue, Cafe Di Amore, formerly Cafe La Notte, where, of course, I'm drinking La Cafe. This is not an espresso. It's good old-fashioned Colombian coffee that's said to be American coffee with a little bit of French vanilla. So I'm going international. And have you seen what's been going on today in Manhattan? Another flop, another No Kings protest, and it is a flop. And gladly, I get to report on it. Out here, if you look out here, look around. No weird looking people with neatly, professionally furnished signs. No Singham or Soros funded signage. No blue hair, no green hair. No rainbow hair, no rainbow flags. Just normal Brooklyn. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. There's more of us than there are of them. Rest assured. The people that think that Donald Trump is buffoonish and evil, they're suffering from TDS, and in at least this part of Brooklyn, TDS is a rarity. You hardly bump into anybody that has TDS down here. And when we do come across someone with TDS, they rightfully get verbally abused. Rightfully so. They get edumacated. Excuse me. So, I could sit here comfortably with this hat without having to worry about some blue-haired freak ripping it off my head. And so, here's where we're at, folks. Here is where we're at. In the decent part of Brooklyn, away from the No Kings protests, because they're not going to bring it here ever. And that's not a challenge to bring it here. It's just a fact of nature that type of climate does not exist here. That's why they don't bring it here, because the majority of the neighborhood isn't of that ilk. The TDS ilk. We just don't do things like that. You're not going to have your purple-haired freaks around here. And if there are purple-haired freaks, they're from a day where being one was actually cool. They're old schoolers. And so here we are, on location. And And so, my question again is the same question each and every time they do this. Why? What's the point? Why are you sticking up for a criminal element from a foreign land coming into the country unvetted? Why are you defending Lake and Riley's killer, Jocelyn Nungary's rapists and killers, Rachel Morin's rapist and killer, you know, these people, man, and they stick up for people like that person that's going to be released a month from now, who came in from Colombia illegally to rape a 14-year-old boy in a bodega, claiming to be a woman. This is stuff you can't make up. It's not just clown world, it's evil clown world. Thank you. It's not just clown world, it's evil clown world. And these No Kings protests are an advocacy for that element, for things like that. For like that. And boy, oh boy, we're in a world of trouble if these Democrats ever regain power. I know there's a split on the right. You got people that are obsessed with any move you make. If it helps Israel get their way, you can't do it. Even if it benefits you, they don't want you doing it if Israel somehow gets their way. This is a piece of Brooklyn right here. Here's a piece of Benson House right here. That is a staple of Benson House. That is the D train headed towards Manhattan. That used to be the B line. So if you look in a movie like The French Connection, you will see the same train line. You see the same elevated platform, elevated train tracks, but that is the B train in the French Connection. I believe in the mid-2000s, they made it the D line. Like right before I had gotten my job with New York City Transit, they made it the D. Which is actually better, because you get on that thing and you can ride that straight to Yankee Stadium. I'm a Yankee fan, that works for me. Now, getting back to these clowns. The No Kings protest, and it's all full of court jesters, all full of fools who advocate for a criminal element from a foreign land. These people are punks. They are cowards. And again, that's not a challenge for them to come over here. This is a nice neighborhood. We want to keep it that way. But the fact still remains, these people are punks. They're cowards. They'll see one person alone, jump that person, and beat up on that person. See, when we see a liberal, and that liberal's all by himself, we might verbally abuse them, we might rank on them, but we're not going to jump on the person and beat them up. If anything, if there is one person among the group that wants to do that, the rest of the friends will be like, no, don't do that, and hold them back and let the person go, because you're entitled to be an ass if you want to, but we're entitled to call you on being an ass if we want to. That's how First Amendment works. You could say something assholic as your First Amendment right, but we could call you on that as our First Amendment right. You have the First Amendment right to protest at a church if you don't like the pastor inside that church. What you don't have the right to do is impede on their First Amendment rights, Don Lemon, by interrupting the sermon in progress. You and your evil brood out there in Minneapolis, or St. Paul in this case, where that incident took place. And then people like Busta Rhymes sticking up for Don Lemon. Which side is Busta Rhymes on? I mean, we are talking about a person that hung out with Diddy quite often and fancied his lawyer's assistant, who was a guy. So, big disappointment. I used to like Busta Rhymes. I mean, he's still a skillful rapper, but some people just need to do all their talking on the mic in the recording studio, showing off their rap skills, and not get political like Eminem, who was another disappointment. All these singers, all these entertainers should just do that and be apolitical. Follow the blueprint of Denzel Washington.
They're all low IQ with all of that.
Exactly.
Denzel is very smart.
Right.
Now, he's the only one that stays out of politics, but he's
Exactly.
You know what side he's on.
Exactly. Exactly. Denzel stays out of politics, so you know what side he's on. He's on the side of normal America. And there are people that might not love Trump all the way, but they still want a normal America. And some of them might reluctantly back Trump, but they know the alternative is much worse. The alternative is men going into the workplace with a dress, with a pillow underneath that dress, claiming they're pregnant. You'd have to have a uterus to get pregnant. And even if you were somehow able to convince people that you could get pregnant, if you're a big, brutish, scruffy-faced bro, who the hell is impregnating you? Again, the element that these people at these No Kings protests advocate for. And there again is the B train. This one is headed towards Coney Island. We are just 2 train stops north of Coney Island, just to let you know. If you saw the movie The Warriors, we're just 2 train stops north of that. So, coming into this little part of Brooklyn, where Gravesend meets Bensonhurst, is actually very nostalgic. And let me show you. You got a 99-cent store across the street, right? That yellow line in the middle of Stillwell Avenue, that's actually the border between Gravesend and Bensonhurst. So, this is where Gravesend meets Bensonhurst. If I cross that street, I'm in Bensonhurst. That's just how that works. The zip code changes within a few feet of where I'm sitting right now. So, this is an area we protect very well from the people who profess no kings, but then change the title of that protest if they're protesting where there is an actual king. They'll go in a country like England, change the name of the protest to whatever the hell they change it to protest against Donald Trump being a king while in a country where there is a king. Make it make sense. So, I'll leave you with that twist and turn of a pretzel to chew on. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe, stay strong, keep kicking that legacy. Your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. Yaha.